from Canada. Like, we still like guns, but it's different. It's a different kind of thing. I know, and it's like kind of a double whammy too. If anyone here is kind of confused by my accent, because they're like, it's Canada, but it's got a thing. It's got a bit of a French inflection. Yeah, because my mom, English was her third language, French was her second, and she taught me how to speak Canadian. But it's cool, because I'm really comfortable saying French phrases like close the lights or we surrender. Yeah. There's 2 ticks against me, though. I'm turning 45 this year. Yeah. Oh, nice reception. Thank you. How's your dad's? Just out here looking for my third husband and some dental benefits, basically. Yeah, no, I'm leaning into it. I love it. The only problem I have is that they didn't give us enough information as sex ed growing up as women. Like, I had no idea how much time over the age of 35 I was going to spend keeping wet stuff dry and dry stuff wet. Yeah. No fucking idea. Hey, ladies, they never told us. They told us bullshit about Kegels. Yeah, we thought that was about sex. It's not. It's so you don't piss yourself when you trip. It's true. We're not shy about it. We do it right in front of you. You have no idea. Not at all. Trampolines, out of the question. Nope, not anymore. Where are my late diagnosis ADHD women at, though? Yeah, that's been coming, right? We thought we were weird. No, it's a thing. Yeah, it's nice. It benefits me a lot in comedy, though. I really, really like it because I can do animal facts. And it really relates to women, I've learned. That's kind of my king. It's my hyperfixation. I've been learning about it a lot, but I'm not one of those white women. Like, I don't rock around just being culturally inappropriate. I'm not, like, talking about my spirit animal. I'm white. I look like I do. I don't. I can reassure you. I'm not going to be up here and just be like, yeah, there's definitely a wolf inside me. There's not. There's a doodle, and she's nuts. And that's all I got. The closest I ever got was, like, there was a koala that I read about, only because they're high all the time and their kids eat shit. And I'm like, a little bit. Maybe. There was a story that came out a while ago about this wild pig that broke into an Australian campsite, downed 18 beers and fought a cow. And I was like, I've done that. And I'll do it again, to be honest. I got a lot of rage. Yeah, it's only because it's bullshit growing older as a woman. Yeah, we get bullshit words like perimenopausal. Yeah, I've been married for 18 years. He gets called distinguished. Yeah, this guy that gets out of the shower does this to me. Yeah, you guys do it, I know, yeah. This guy last year... Oh, you're so not going home with her later. She just covered her face like this. She's like, I'm so sorry. That's okay. We've all been there. You're not going to learn, but you're not going to do it again. It's fine. But yeah, this guy he turned 47 last year, farted into his hand after his birthday party, blew it at me and told me to make a wish. Gets distinguished. Yeah, we weren't taught anything useful in sex ed. They had us roll condoms down bananas to teach us the real world. I know. And that set our expectations a little high. Didn't it? It did. Not a lot of bananas out there, hey, sir. Not a ton, no. I had a male comedian come up to me after that set once, and he was just like, Carole, how do you think us boys felt rolling those condoms down those bananas in front of you? And I was like, I don't know, like liars. Just lying to our faces. But no, I do like animal facts. It is the one thing that keeps me going. And it's the one thing I feel like women across the globe, it unifies us. There is something there. We don't have spirit animals, but I can see where it came from. Because it was during COVID, and there was a story that came out, and it was about a female shark in Seoul, Korea, in a shark tank, who ate a male shark because he kept bumping into her. I know. So I posted the news article on my Facebook and I was like, LOL, right? And this vegan male comedian messaged me. And I know he was vegan because he told me. And he messaged me and he said, Carole, how can you laugh at this article? These two sharks are in an unnatural environment. This male shark could not get away from this female shark. Don't you feel bad for him? And I said, no. Because I know she fucking warned him. We know she warned him. We know she was like, Kevin, you bump into me one more time, I'm gonna eat you. And then he rocked up to that shark job the next day and he saw some of his shark friends sitting by the cooler and he's like, hey, see Teresa over there? You wanna see something funny? Watch me bump her. But that time, even his friends were like, you know what, dude, we think you should leave it alone. Just let her go, buddy. You should. Because we watched her crush a pufferfish yesterday, and she didn't even get high. Look it up, that's a thing. She means it. But that wasn't enough for this guy. No, he told them she was crazy, and he was going to show them. So he went up to her, and he bumped her. And she did what we've all done. She took her earbuds out. Like she wasn't listening to anything. She was just looking busy. But she did that thing every woman here across the, we've all done this. We did make this decision. Am I going to absorb this just to continue work? Or am I going to be on the fucking news tomorrow? Yep, and that time she took it. She absorbed it. She's just trying to do her job. That wasn't enough for him. He went up, he bumped her again. And we know that Teresa ate him. She did. She spent 16 hours eating him. That's why he was on the news, swimming back and forth in front of everybody standing there. Every guy that calls out in a comedian show when it's not his job, she's eating him in front of her. That's right, but it's okay. She's not a monster. She started at his head. It was just him dangling out for a while. And do you know what she did the next day, sir? She spent 12 hours throwing him back up. She did. You know why? Because the unfortunate part is every woman, including me, we have all swallowed just to make a point. You guys are fun. I'm going to leave you. You want one more animal fact? Yeah, you do. You're not sure, but women are. It's okay. It's not sexist. Because it can't be, I'm a woman. But no, I got 2 birds at home. I have had a cockatiel, his name's Jarvis, and I've had him for 10 years. And when I got him, I was so sure. I saw those YouTube videos, and I was like, ooh, he's gonna sing. I know it. He's gonna whistle, and I'm gonna be one of those people. No, I've spent 8 years trying to teach Jarvis how, if he's happy and you know it. And he's not happy, he doesn't know it. At all. So 2 years ago, I got him a friend. Because he's so dumb. I'm like, well, maybe. He just needs a buddy. And so I got him a friend, and that little friend, that new cockatiel that I spent more money on, he picked up that song in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's what he did. And so I asked my friend, she's a biologist, and I was like, okay, so what's wrong with my bird? Like, he's not being able to pick it up. And she said, you know what, Carole, don't feel bad. It means he's inbred. I mean, I feel a little bad. Like, it's not like he's my cousin or something, but I feel a little bad. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, how do you know this? And she said, no, it's common in birds. If they can't carry a tune, it means they're in bed. It means they can't attract a mate, so they can't pass on their inbred genes. So this is where we get country music.
My father is using TikTok. It's really fucked up. But TikTok algorithm actually fixed the relationship with my parents. I'm not joking. Like my dad, one day, he sent me this really sweet TikTok. It said, happy birthday, daughter. Aww. Yeah, so emotional. Then the TikTok algorithm took over, right? So now he's getting videos like, daughters are a gift. unresolved trauma makes you bolt. So now he's calling me. You know, he's hugging me. Like, TikTok algorithm gave my dad personality software update. Thank you, China. I didn't know that global data theft will get me a hug from my dad. I just turned 23. Yeah, emotionally. Physically, I'm 30. Yeah, so in my country, in Kazakhstan, I reached that age where I can only marry divorced guys now. Or as my grandma says, I'm on a secondary market. But because I'm dating in Berlin, I would actually say I'm on a flea market. You know, going through trash, trying to find like single monogamous people who don't use drugs. But I don't want to complain. Actually, I do get enough attention from guys. This can happen if you're an Asian girl with a Russian accent. Yeah, all the boys are yours. All the perverts. Yeah, I'm basically 2 categories of Pornhub combined. That's why it's so funny, like how to observe how guys are flirting with me here in Europe. Like in their flirting, there's usually like a sprinkle of racism. I love it. I was at a coffee shop the other day, and this German dude comes up to me, and he's like, "Hello. You know, I'm also the Buddhist." I'm like, "Great. I'm Muslim." And he goes, "Me too." I'm an Eastern European Asian woman. My love language is threatening acts of service. I will fuck you up emotionally, but I will pay for your therapy. I like Asian men, but they don't like me back. Because Asian men, they either date white women or cute, submissive Asian girls who laugh like this. And I'm like, "Let's go eat some potatoes, motherfucker!" And that's how you end up with Eastern European men. Men from Eastern Europe love me because I remind them of their moms. I cook for them and I beat them up. Just kidding, I can't cook. But I did have serious relationships before, I swear. My ex broke up with me last year. Yeah, because he said he was emotionally unavailable. Do you guys know what it means? Bullshit, that's what it means. But he didn't think it through. You know, he was like, "Dinara, I cannot be with you. I do not feel emotions." Then there was a little dog passing by. He was like, "Wah!" Yeah, it's been a year since he broke up with me. But to this day, when I see dogs on the street, I feel competitive. Who does this bitch think she is? I'm on Hinge now. Any other believers in the room? Good, good. Belgian realism, I like it. I'm on Hinge, and you know this guy, instead of messaging me, he just sent me his address. Yeah, like no hi, no how are you, just GPS coordinates. Like I'm an Uber Eats driver or something. So I robbed him. And then we went on a date because I felt guilty and stuff. During the date, he was like, "Dinara, I am looking for someone to grow with." Aww, what? I told him, "Dude, you're 168 centimeters, you're 40 years old. I cannot help you with growing." Anatomy. But I did grow financially because I sold his PlayStation. I quit drinking. Thanks. So now I have much less sex. Because it turns out that sober me has standards. Standards like personality, hygiene. But the last time I had sex, something interesting happened to me. So a guy tried to stick his finger into my butthole. And I know some people like it, right? I'm not judgmental. But I don't like it. So I was like, what the fuck? And he goes, I just wanted to make your day more interesting. If I want to make someone's day more interesting, I don't do that. Okay? What I do is, I go into a male's bathroom, right? I go inside, I stop my forehead, and I say, old habits. Then I scratch my vagina and I go outside. Okay, no trans jokes, got it. I love it when white people realize that they just behaved like a racist person and they start panicking. I was at a coffee shop the other day, about to pay my bill. And then I realized it wasn't actually my bill. So the waitress thought I was another Asian person in the room. Yeah. And wanted me to pay for him. So I came up to her and I said, do you think all Asians look the same? She shat her pants. She was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for slavery. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for racism. I'm sorry for Donald Trump. How can I fix this? And I went, well, I like cheesecake. And she brought that cheesecake to another Asian person in the room. Hey guys, it's been lovely. That was my time. My name is Dinara Kerey. Let's talk about your host.
And being a stripper and a comedian is great because I've been stripping for 10 years. And when I started doing comedy like 3 years ago, my parents weren't really that disappointed. Nah, it's great. And it changes your perspective. They say to get over your fear of public speaking, you just picture the audience in their underwear. Yeah. For me to feel more confident, I picture myself in underwear. Yeah, and looking around the room, some of you are doing the same thing right now. Yep. Yep, okay, yeah. I get very different reactions from crowds when I tell them what I do for a living. Men usually start listening more intently, yeah. Because to be fair, most of them didn't know we could talk. And I do think even though they know this is a comedy show, they just don't lose hope, you know? They're like, maybe her jokes won't work that well. Maybe she's gonna get a bit desperate. Maybe I get to see a boob, even two. No, it costs more than a comedy ticket to see those, sorry. Yeah, and then women react in two different ways. Like half of the women are a bit skeptical. They're a bit like, okay, who's she, you know? And if they're here with their partner, they start aggressively holding his hand. I'm like, don't take him, don't steal my man. Don't worry, ladies. After 10 years in the business, I don't even like men anymore. Except, of course, for you guys. You're special. You're not all like all the other... Anyway. No, because, look, working in the strip club has given me trust issues. Because I learned that men will promise me just about anything if they're horny. You know, I've heard these big, unrealistic, empty promises over the years. Promises like, sure, I'm gonna come back from the ATM and pay you. I've been hurt so many times. Yeah, it makes dating hard for me because, yeah, I have trust issues. But here's what I realized. I think it's also hard for a lot of men to date me. Here's what I noticed. Some of my past partners have been like almost scared or at least a bit intimidated by me, especially when it came to sex. And I don't really know why. Like, is it the tail or the talons? No, I think it's because when they see me performing in my 8-inch stripper heels and my big power pussy persona, you know, it can be quite powerful. And I think they feel like they have to somehow match that energy in bed. Yeah, and that puts on so much pressure, right? So I just picture them like giving themselves a pep talk before they're about to sleep with me, like in the bathroom in front of the mirror. They're like, you got this. Show her who's the man. You better bring a fucking A game. And then they like slap themselves in the face. And meanwhile, I'm over here thinking, hello, wrong face, dude. I'm right here. Give me a cheer if you're kinky. That joke was for you. And then, like, the other part of the female audience reacts differently. They're like, oh my God, I want to be a stripper too. It sounds so fun. Yeah, cheer if you recognize yourself. No, I do love my job, and it is really fun, but it's not easy. Stripping sounds easy until you find yourself naked in a dimly lit room with a stranger, and you have to entertain them for an hour. Yeah, that's why I started telling them jokes. No, for real. I don't really know how my coworkers do it, but like I can only grind on a lap for so long till I go, knock, knock. What's there? It's your boner. There's nothing I can do about that. Sorry. More jokes. And you know, it gets dull sometimes. You just like find yourself grinding away, looking down at their shoes, wondering, will he notice when I tie his shoelaces together? About 10 years, still haven't done it. Very proud of myself. And stripping in Switzerland is an extra challenge because I think we asked this before, like, who here is Swiss? Give me a whoop. Yeah, there's very hesitant. Like, we love you guys, but it's very hard to get Swiss people to show emotions. It's very hard to get them to open up their wallets. Yeah, I truly believe that part of the reason Swiss people have so much money is because they never make it rain on strippers. But the other night at work, I gave a Swiss guy a lap dance, and he gave me a reaction that was like a 10 out of 10 on the Swiss enthusiasm scale. It was so cool. This really happened. I want to tell you guys what happened. So I was dancing for him, and you can just pretend to be him. No reaction, perfect. And I thought he was having a good time. It was kind of hard to tell, so I was like, okay, I'll do a little more, you know. So I took my panties off, and then I gracefully lowered myself down to the floor and did a very sexy pose, showing him a good view of my personality. And he looked at me, and I looked up to him, and he went like this, tip top. Yeah. This really happened. And you know, it feels so good. It feels so good to know you're making a difference in someone's life. Yeah. But it's not just the Swiss that can be a challenge. A different night, I had a client who was like very obnoxious. He was very full of himself, kept talking a lot. First, I thought he was on coke, but he was just American. And he got a lap dance with me, and he sat down. He was like, listen, honey, I've gotten all the lap dances before, you know, I've seen everything. But, you know, go ahead, surprise me. I want to be surprised. I was like, okay. Not the most charming intro, but I like a good challenge. So I was like, all right. So I danced for him. I did my normal stuff, got naked. And then towards the end of the dance, I was like, are you ready for your surprise? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, watch me. And I took my finger and I licked it. And then I very slowly stuck it all the way up my nose. Yeah. No, he did not like that. But he was surprised. Yeah, well, what do we learn from that? Be careful what you wish for. I get weird conversations too sometimes. The other night someone asked me while I was working in the strip club, he was like, why do you work here? Why don't you get like a real job and work at McDonald's like a normal girl? Yeah, wow, exactly. And I thought about it, and I think it's so stupid, right? Why should I work at McDonald's and sell Happy Meals when I can be the Happy Meal? Sometimes there's even a toy inside. Yeah. No, but this whole idea that stripping isn't a real job, I think it's so dumb, because especially since when I get booked to do like a bachelor party or something, I get booked to come dressed up as someone who has like a very respectable profession. Like they book me to come dressed up as a policewoman or a nurse or a cow. And I wondered why that is. And I think it's just that we as a society, it really turns us on, like this idea that underneath the uniform, there's just a real dirty slut with no morals. Yeah, that's hot. And it really explains why I never get booked to come dressed up as a politician. My dad follows me on Instagram, which is awkward when I think about it for too long because that's where I advertise my OnlyFans. That's right, strippers can do home office too. And but like he's not very like he knows his place. He's never like doing anything inappropriate. Like he never comments on my pictures saying, "Good job, honey, that thong looks great on you." He never does that. And he only likes the pictures where I'm wearing pants. So I get about 2 likes from him per year. And I think he just wants to be supportive, you know? He just wants to show up for me. And I'm thinking, Dad, it's really great that you're like showing me attention, but you're about 25 years too late. I already am a stripper. Yeah, but it got me thinking, what would happen if I ever met my dad at work? Yeah, that's like the worst case scenario. Imagine like dancing up on the pole and in he walks. What do you do? And I figured it out. I think I would just walk up to him and be like, "Hey, listen, hi. I know you're my dad, but for $500, you could be my daddy."